metro area at times now over the last hour or so. As we work westward, here's what's left of a watch box over portions of southern Pennsylvania. This tornado watch has actually expired. It was previously canceled. Otherwise, we can show you what's left of a severe weather watch here. Further to the west, this severe thunderstorm watch in effect, and a new watch has been issued for this general section of Illinois and Iowa. Let's go ahead and take you back through time. This is what radar looked like at just about the time that parts of southwestern suburban Chicago was being devastated by a tornado. 3:15. Here we are looking at the area around Aurora in Illinois. About 15 minutes later, note that supercell thunderstorm racing southeastward, tornado on the ground about right there, backside of that supercell thunderstorm. Aurora, Illinois, lots of wind, lots of rain, lots of hail too. In fact, had reports in Aurora of hail upwards to an inch and a quarter in diameter, driving amounts of rain. In fact, had reports of an inch or so of rain in about 20 minutes time. In fact, we heard reports from people of tremendous amounts of rain and hail. And then came the tornado. And that tornado, a violent tornado, in some instances essentially just blew everything away other than just simply the foundation of a house. Unfortunately, we've had reports, confirmed reports now evidently, of at least 19 fatalities in that major weather disaster for southwestern suburban Chicago. National radar here is what it currently is showing in terms of big thunderstorms, including some severe thunderstorms now just south and west of Moline, Illinois. Well, let's go ahead and give you a forecast for the weather future. Here it is for the western sections of the country anyway, and basically we'll add a little bit more rain into the picture for all parts of the Pacific Northwest, scattered, isolated Cascades westward. Other than that, most of the rest of the west looking pretty good. Forecast for central and southern California, for the most part, we'll start the day with sunshine, end the day with sunshine, and again, temperatures continue their slow upward creep, particularly in the desert regions. 90 are forecast high for downtown Los Angeles, so if you're going to be camped out there in the steps of the Civic Center. For the most part, more sun than clouds during the day for the central and northern sections of California, with Sacramento Valley highs again generally into the 90s. Pacific Northwest and the Cascades westward, we'll see a few isolated showers, widely scattered showers. Temperatures still looking pretty good though for highs. Take a look at the jet stream, because again it holds the key to the weather that we'll anticipate. Here's the cool front being pushed southeastward by a trough of low pressure, followed by a ridge, so that means more warming as far as temperatures are concerned. Show you what we mean as we show you temperatures for highs, 90s and 100s, western plains on Thursday. Plain states continue hot throughout the forecast, at least central and southern plains, as will the Dixie region be, with readings generally 90s or 100s. Here's a frontal boundary down here focusing some storms on Thursday. Then here comes another cool front heading eastward over the Labor Day weekend. We'll check out a Pacific forecast for you shortly.
It's People's Fall Preview. Fall's new movies. Hanks, Griffith, and Willis in Bonfire. Stallone in The Last Rocky. Fall's TV movies like Lucy and Desi, The Love Story. The new season for Twin Peaks. George Michael's latest. Midler, Woody, everybody in People's Fall Preview. People, that's what we're all about.
Accurate, dependable. Your local forecast from the Weather Channel.
Show you some powerful thunderstorms again. Well, most of them now have moved just south of the southwestern tip of Long Island, but lots of wind and rain here. As we work our way on towards the west, we can show you some of those heavy-duty thunderstorms along the Ohio River. Cincinnati, Ohio, getting some pretty good storms. A lot of this is just simply ground clutter and false echoes up there, up towards Kalamazoo and on up into parts of southwestern Ontario, Canada. But this is real here as we take you on to south of Moline and to north of Burlington, then back over to around Ottumwa and north from there. Severe thunderstorms heading off towards the east-southeast. Tropical update. We'll check that out for you shortly on the Weather Channel.
The beat goes on.
Prepare your trip by watching Traveler's Update.
The beat goes on.
Only on the Weather Channel. Our meteorologists forecast all the weather developments which might affect your trip. Rain, fog, thunderstorm intensity, and wind are given detailed analysis by our team of experts. We take the time to make the most up-to-the-minute forecast so you can have the time to make your trip successful. Traveler's Update, only on the Weather Channel. This summer, the Weather Channel brings you the features you need to plan all of your warm weather activities. Features like the Weekend Outlook, giving you the extended forecast every hour so you can plan your fun. If that fun includes waterside recreation, then don't miss the water, wind, and sunshine outlooks during the Boat and Beach Report. And Traveler's Update reviews weather information which could affect your trip. The Weekend Outlook, Boat and Beach Report, Traveler's Update. Exclusive features you rely on only on the Weather Channel.
In Florida, a man jumps out of a plane, and when his parachute doesn't open, he falls 3,600 feet to the ground, bounces twice, and lives to tell the tale. Fact. Now you can enjoy thousands of true stories like these in Time Life Book's brand new Library of Curious and Unusual Facts. Start with Feats and Wisdom of the Ancients. Then there's a book on the mysteries of the body, and even one on vanishings. Examine the evidence. Listen to eyewitness accounts and look at hundreds of astonishing photographs. You've never seen a collection of stories stranger, more fascinating, or more fun. Call now for your copy of Feats and Wisdom of the Ancients. Examine it free for 10 days. Keep it and pay just $12.99. Other volumes will follow about every other month. If you don't think it's one of the most intriguing books you've ever read, you can send it right back.
Dependable. Your local forecast from the Weather Channel.
Go ahead and show you what's going on in the tropics, and basically things are, well, I guess we can't say quiet because we do have two named systems as far as the Atlantic is concerned, but quiet in the sense that it appears that neither of these systems, Gustav here, that's, well, you can see way off to the east and southeast of Florida, it's moving northerly in direction, continues to weaken very slowly, still a hurricane, but not the 105 mile per hour sustained winds we were looking at, for example, about 24 or so hours ago. Gustav, pressure continues to rise slowly, central pressure now up to about 983 millibars. Show you what Gustav looks like from the satellite view. Here is Gustav. Here's Hortense. Hortense has lost a lot of its convection over the last several hours. Gustav moving northerly. Hortense moving northwesterly. I told you it lost its convection. You can see a lot more about 16 or so hours ago. As we put this into motion, you can see the northward drift of Gustav. You can see the general northwestward drift of Hortense. And again, you can see a definite weakening, a lot less thunderstorms associated with Hortense, at least over the last several hours. As we also check out portions of the Caribbean here, not a whole lot going on, and even these thunderstorms over northern South America as they move on out over the waters there, of course, getting into nighttime too. Those thunderstorms having a tendency to diminish quite a bit, as you can see. There's still a few out there, and you wouldn't want to be in a small boat underneath some of those storms, at least not if you could help it. Let's go give you some particulars about Hortense, and we can show you that Hortense, a tropical storm with sustained winds about 65 miles per hour, continuing to move slowly off to the northwest at about 13 miles per hour. Western sections of the country, let's check this out for you here and show you a satellite view. Put this into motion, and again, we'll show you a huge cyclonic swirl out here, area of low pressure. And take a look at that. Boy, talk about having a toehold there over much of the Pacific, at least offshore the western sections of the United States. You can see a huge area of cyclonic circulation out there, area of low pressure, flinging some moisture onshore. And although there's been a little bit of rain, hadn't amounted to much at all, not very much has come onshore yet, though you can see some clouds beginning to come onshore a little bit more in bulk now. Surface map will sort of show you what things look like here. Basically, things pretty quiet. Still most of the rain lurking offshore. Nice day on Tuesday. Western sections of the country, 85. The high in Seattle, low 80s. Portland, mid-80s. Medford. Remember, Medford earlier in the summer had a number of days that you were around 100 or slightly hotter. 90 the high in Reno. We continue the slow creep upward in temperatures for Las Vegas and Phoenix as you head to more normal high temperatures, some of the cooler than normal readings you've been looking at recently, or at least let's say less hot than normal readings. Rest of the country, here's what it looks like, and again, there's the culprit. Now some relief, at least as far as, well, let's say the heat and the humidity are concerned across parts of the plains and Midwest, but we are looking at some powerful storms right now across parts of southeastern Iowa to just south of the Chicago area. In fact, let's show you a radar real quickly here and let you know what's going on. You can see some of those severe thunderstorms have had reports of softball-sized hail just north of Ottumwa, Iowa during the past few minutes. Severe thunderstorms extend on into Illinois. As you can see, those big thunderstorms just south of Marseilles, Illinois, to just south of Gary, Indiana. This precipitation heading off towards the east-southeast. Back to our maps we'll go. Let's show you where some of the severe weather is currently located, or at least potentially, with a couple of watches. This one expiring at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Daylight Time. Here's what's left of another watch box till 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Daylight Time. Another severe thunderstorm watch box. And finally, here's the last watch box expiring at 7 o'clock. Keep in mind, you don't have to have the tornado watches or warnings to have a tornado. Unfortunately, this is what happened here just before the tornadoes developed. Supercell thunderstorm all by itself. Look at this. Just isolated thunderstorm. Into the aftermath of that devastating tornado. Crystal Lawns, Illinois, you can see a lot of damage here. A violent tornado, yes indeed. Tops of the thunderstorms with that tornado, well, we have reports 60 to 65,000 feet, for example. Unfortunately, confirmed casualties, 19. That's fatalities. Again, that's what it looked like about 3:30 or so local time. Here's what national radar looks like right now. Pacific forecast. Let's give you a quick overview of what's going to be happening in western sections of the country. A few showers into the Pacific Northwest, and that is about it. It's going to be warm in Southern California. High temperatures here, creeping up in the deserts. We'll creep on into a local forecast and some travelers' forecast shortly.
Accurate, dependable. Your local forecast from the Weather Channel.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealer.
Look out for the rainy travel right along that frontal boundary. We're seeing some heavy downpours of rain just to the south of Pittsburgh right now, as well as around, Cincinnati and Covington, Kentucky, back towards central and southern sections of Indiana and Illinois. And by tomorrow morning, we think that front will sag even farther to the south. You may even see some rain-slick roadways as far north as parts of Maine. Severe thunderstorms are definitely a possibility. We're seeing them fire back up right now around Burlington as well as Moline, Illinois, back towards Ottumwa in Iowa. Very large, damaging hail being reported, golf ball and softball size in some locations. And along that front, into the wee hours of the morning, we're still going to be watching this particular area because the cooler, drier air is running into the warm, moist weather conditions, and that clash of the air masses is definitely triggering the severe thunderstorms, with winds being reported up to 60, 70 miles per hour, and I already told you about the large damaging hail. Now look out for the fog that's starting to develop already around.
Good morning. You've joined us at 22 past the hour. When we come back, we will check in on the current weather scene this morning, including some impressive radars. Stay tuned.
Dear Michelin.
Good morning. It's time to check in on the airport reports. We have good news for travelers. No reports of any major delays this morning. Satellite picture rolls into motion. We show you an impressive area of storms last night and yesterday, of course, all kinds of severe weather, numerous reports of hail and quite a few tornadoes too, one near Jamestown, New York, and also, of course, as you've probably heard, southwest of Chicago, very hard hit. Let's take a look at the latest national radar picture, and we show you that for the most part in northern portions of Illinois they are in the clear right now, but in central Illinois we do have some warnings this morning. More thunderstorms rumbling across parts of Indiana and over into Kentucky. As a matter of fact, in Louisville and Lexington they have some pretty strong storms at this hour. Little light rain right along coastal areas here, and some rain showers and thunder showers in South Florida. They are reporting thunder showers this morning down around West Palm Beach, rather around Key West. We have a look at a radar picture that actually moves the storms into motion, and we show you the movement over the past several hours or so. In around the Champaign-Urbana area, some very strong storms moved through. Now warning south of Indianapolis for a pretty good cell. These storms are moving southeast at 50 miles per hour, so you're under the gun right here. We have more storms around western portions of Illinois, but as you see, southwest of Chicago, where they were hard hit, they don't have any severe weather again this morning, so at least we have some good news there. A look into Florida very briefly. Rain showers and thunder showers mainly out in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, a few light rain showers onshore. A look now to what we have, a look back to yesterday. All kinds of reports of hail, high winds, and also tornadoes. Numerous tornadoes, at least 3 tornadoes southwest of Chicago. One tornado also near Jamestown, New York, around Lake Chautauqua, and high winds and damage here too because of hail. This is what we have, a current surface map showing you warm, moist, tropical air to the south, cooler, drier air to the north of the boundary, and this is where the boundary is, the battle zone for those strong and severe storms. And this is where it is again today. We're going to watch this entire area for strong and severe storms throughout the day today. Hopefully we won't have any more tornadoes, but we certainly can't rule them out. Current temperatures, it is 71 this morning in New York City, 74 in Boston. Erie, good morning, 70 and 75 in D.C. A balmy start in Panama City, 83 degrees right now, 77 in Atlanta, Georgia. The same reading in Little Rock, also in Oklahoma City, and it's also 77 in Charleston this morning. Current surface map in the southeast, not much to write home about, just all kinds of hot weather again. Jackson, Mississippi, it was hot yesterday. Get ready for those apparent temperatures to ride up over 100 again, and even over 110. Current satellite picture out here, we still have a blow-up of storms. Warnings are now in effect for, in Illinois, Christian County and western Shelby County. Also, we have warnings in effect for Hancock County and also McDonough County. This is the latest watch box. As of 7 o'clock this morning, until 7 o'clock this morning, Central Time for the areas in yellow. You're under severe thunderstorm watch. And also for the areas in yellow until 9 o'clock Central Time, including places like St. Louis, Springfield, and over into Indianapolis. And again, we do have a south of Indianapolis right now that is under a warning. Back to the current surface map, the storms are firing up right out ahead of this boundary. It is warm and moist to the south, but cool and dry. You really can see it here. 83 St. Louis, 62 Minneapolis. So this is the battle zone. 66 right now behind the front in Chicago. Current satellite picture, and we'll switch gears a bit and show you the satellite picture in Saudi Arabia. Of course, clear skies and all kinds of sun. Temperatures up in the upper 90s. Abu Dhabi 99, Arar the same reading, Medina 90. Coming up, a look at the forecast for today with Mark.
Accurate, dependable.
This is the Morning Report.
Good morning, I'm Mark Mancuso alongside Marnie Stanier. Storms not quite as violent as they were yesterday afternoon southwest of Chicago, but still strong and still severe in central Illinois to central Indiana.
That's right, some reports of trees down and possibly some power outages this morning. We have a look at all the cells on radar and also the movement and the latest warnings for you. It's time for Waking Up Weather, and it's sponsored by Mountain Grown Folgers Coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up. Well, reports of delays this morning? No, we have good news for you out there. If you're traveling through any of the major hubs, you'll be moving along smoothly this morning. Satellite picture into motion. We show you a large blow-up of storms on the satellite. Look at that, from Indiana over into Illinois. Some very strong storms this morning. Not as severe, certainly, as yesterday southwest of Chicago, but still an area of strong and severe storms, and the warnings coming up in just a minute with the radar picture. Otherwise, we have a pretty quiet picture in the west with an onshore flow in the Pacific Northwest and a little light rain there. Latest national radar picture, we have a little bit of light rain right along coastal areas of Texas. Rain showers, a few thunder showers in South Florida this morning. And we also, of course, have the strong storms firing up right here. We'll zoom in and take a look at a closer radar. They're reporting thunderstorms this morning out of Lexington and in Louisville and the Covington area. Some very strong storms. South of Dayton, some thunderstorms too. South of Muncie, some very strong storms. We have a warning right here for this cell. This is Bartholomew County. The cell is moving southeast at 50 miles per hour. So you are under a warning right now in Bartholomew County for severe storms. Another warning right here for Greene County, and they do report some trees down and some possible power outages there. Then three little cells right here, the warnings for Macon, Shelby, and Moultrie counties right here between Springfield and Champaign-Urbana. So all over the place we have warnings. Another warning to the west of Springfield. So quite an active picture here this morning, but fortunately it is south of the Chicago area, of course, southwest of Chicago, where they were hard hit yesterday. We'll take a look now at another radar picture into the Sunshine State. A few rumbles of thunder this morning, a typical thing in Key West. You know what it's like there. Thunder showers also in eastern Gulf of Mexico. This is moving southeast at about 10 miles per hour. And look back to the maps now. We'll check in on yesterday's reports. We have numerous reports of hail, high winds, and of course tornadoes southwest of Chicago. The latest watch boxes, this one until 7 o'clock Central Time for the areas in yellow. This would include places like Springfield, Illinois, over into Kirksville. Now another watch box, it means a chance for severe storms today, 9 o'clock Central Time. That's how long it's in effect. And there is a good possibility that after 9 we will continue another watch box for an area maybe a little farther south of here. Current map, and we'll break it down. Strong storms firing up out ahead of this system. It is very warm, moist, and tropical out ahead of it. To the north of it, cooler and drier. So a battle zone right here. You see the satellite picture. Very strong storms here this morning. Not bad, though, along the northeastern corridor. A few clouds here and there, but temperatures, kind of a balmy start in Boston, 74. 75 in D.C. this morning, and 62 up around Caribou, with some reports of light rain. 77, a popular number this morning from Oklahoma City to Little Rock, Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Charleston, and also a 77 reading out of, well, that's about it, I guess. Current map in the southeast. Trying to push those 77s. We have a nice weather pattern here, but you know what it's going to be like later on with all that sunshine, with the clear skies, all kinds of heat, and of course record highs are possible. Right here, not too bad this morning. Of course, the strong storms firing up out ahead of this zone. You can really see the difference in temperatures here. Out ahead of the front, 80s, 83 right now in St. Louis. North of it, though, 52 in Duluth. So this is the dividing line right here. Strong storms to the south of that system today. We'll watch it very closely. If there are any warnings for your area, we will let you know about them right away. Shifting gears just a bit, a look to the satellite picture in Saudi Arabia. Clear skies, of course, and all kinds of sunshine at 11 o'clock Mideast time. Temperatures already up over the century mark. Not quite in Abu Dhabi, but 99. We'll keep an eye on these temperatures, and we'll take you back to the lower 48 when we come back.
Here's the morning report.
2 minutes before the top of the hour. Good Wednesday morning. This is Mark Mancuso, and I'm Marnie Stanier. We continue to follow severe storms across parts of the Ohio Valley. We're going to roll them into motion coming up and show you how they're moving right along. That's right. Very heavy thunderstorms continue to produce severe weather in Illinois and Indiana. And we'll take a look at those storms, the radars, as Marnie mentioned. Right now it's time for this morning's weather, which is level low offshore that will continue to spiral in some moisture You do have some rain showers right now that we'll check out on radar coming up in just a couple of minutes, but keep it in mind that umbrella might come in handy today. By late afternoon today, we have a developing storm system, and by tomorrow it will move into the Rockies and trigger more rain showers and thunder showers. The monsoonal flow is still quite evident in the Four Corners, so rain showers, maybe about a half an inch of rain at best, but most locations only about a quarter of an inch. High temperatures, well, very hot, of course, in Southern California, parts of Nevada, and also Arizona. Highs up over the century mark, but cooler in the northwest with 60s and 70s. Now, much cooler in back of this system today, and much better weather certainly around Chicagoland, where they had devastating tornadoes southwest of Chicago, one of the worst outbreaks in many, many years. The death toll now up to 26. Rain showers and thunder showers south of the boundary today, and there is a possibility for severe weather out here, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on this area, and if there are any warnings, we will pass those along to you right away. All right, best chance for rain in the dark green from West Virginia over to the Boot Heel of Missouri. Locally, an inch of rain here. High temperatures, 70s up in the UP, pretty nice. 80s Minneapolis to Des Moines, but 90s for most of Missouri and over into Nebraska. Hot 100s over the border into Kansas. In the northeast, rain showers, possibly some strong or severe storms right out here. Drier and cooler in back of it, so you won't have any more turbulent weather like yesterday around Jamestown, New York, where a tornado was reported. High temperatures, 70s and 80s for most of northern New England, but some locations will slide into the 90s today. Salisbury, Maryland, and Chincoteague, Virginia, Williamsburg, get ready for another hot one. More hot weather in Dixie, too. Highs yesterday over 100 in many locations in Mississippi, with heat indices over 110 and 115. Oh, it's going to be very hot again today. You'll get lucky if you get a rain shower to cool you off. Of course, the best chance for rain up right ahead of that frontal system. High temperatures, a lot of 100s from Augusta, Georgia to Huntsville and Montgomery. Get ready. The heat is on. All the way into late afternoon we go, and we see a developing storm system in the west that moves into the Rockies early morning Thursday, and we expect to see some rain showers and thunder showers out ahead of that by the afternoon hours. Coming up next, we'll check in on the extended outlook. We'll take you all the way into the weekend and help you make your plans for the Labor Day weekend.
How do you...
Just about 15 past the hour, as promised. We'll help you make some plans for the weekend. Holiday weekend ahead. Thursday, still the ridging across the nation's heartland. A trough in the east and a trough in the northwest. Some changes in the east. The jet drives back into Canada, so a warm-up for a lot of folks. The jet will retreat, so it will allow you to warm up a bit. We'll check in on highs first for Thursday and then show you how the trend looks for here. 70s and 80s on Thursday. 90s, 100s here, but warmer in Detroit and Toledo, 70s on Friday, but it looks like back into the 80s on Saturday. So warming up for the weekend here as the jet retreats back northward into Canada. In the northwest, 60s and 70s. We keep you in the cool weather in the northwest with an onshore flow, kind of an unsettled pattern for the next couple of days or so. Isolated thunderstorms over the Four Corners with a monsoonal flow. Strong storms lining up from around, well, New Orleans over to Albany, Georgia, and on up the line to Hatteras, North Carolina. Still the scattered showers and thunderstorms here on Friday, but the best chance for strong storms or maybe even severe storms from Bemidji, Minnesota over into around the, Fargo and Grand Forks, so we'll watch that. Isolated thunderstorms across the Rockies on Saturday, and we keep you in that rainy stuff around Sault Ste. Marie and Ironwood, Michigan. By the way, you have some fog this morning in Ironwood. Scattered showers and thunderstorms lining up from Buffalo, New York to Cleveland, back over into Indianapolis. Still a scattered variety along coastal areas in the southeast. Coming up, an update for travelers. We do have some very strong storms this morning. Mark will have the latest radar picture when we come back.
Which leads me to ask a simple question. And the question
Eyes are so itchy.
This is the Morning Report.
20 minutes past the hour. Good Wednesday morning. Thanks for checking in with us. This is Mark Mancuso, and I'm Marnie Stanier. We're going to take you all the way through the Labor Day weekend now and help you make some plans.
Okay, let's hope it gets better than what it is right now in the Midwest. As we take a look at that 5-day business.
22 past the hour. In just a minute, weather headlines, and then a check on the current weather scene this morning. Stay tuned.
Woo! Everybody skip it, dip in.
And we do have reports of delays out of Chicago's O'Hare Field, ranging to about 45 minutes or so. No reports of any delays out of the major hubs in the west. Satellite into motion, we show you two major areas of storms. This first one firing up with very strong storms from Ohio over into New York State and Pennsylvania. And of course, the second go-around, one that many people are familiar with, one of the most devastating outbreaks of tornadoes in many, many years, southwest of Chicago. It looks like about 3 tornadoes reported in all, cutting a 7-mile path. And the latest death toll is now up to 26. So, of course, that is going to go down in history, unfortunately, as one of the worst outbreaks of tornadoes in many, many years. We'll show you why that happened in a minute. First, a look at the national radar picture, and we show you very strong storms firing up right here. Few rain showers over parts of Florida, but disregard a lot of what you see down here because a lot of this is ground clutter. Little light rain in the northwest, too, moving to the north. We'll show you the movement of the storms across parts of Kentucky and also Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Look at this line of storms. It's pretty well defined right back here. It slides to the southeast very rapidly. It is starting to break apart somewhat now, but they had some very strong storms in Louisville. They're still reporting thunderstorms. The same story in Lexington. Covington, some very strong storms. An area of moderate rain right here. Lighter rain showers in Indianapolis. Earlier on, when these storms moved through just to the southeast of Quincy, Illinois, we had reports of golf ball-sized hail. A look now to another radar picture, and this shows you the light rain in the northwest. Again, this is moving off to the north, and it shows up fairly well because usually the radars don't pick up rain very well out here. So not bad. A little light rain here moving in off of the Pacific. A check now to the current map. We'll take a look back to yesterday and show you all the reports of high winds and hail, and of course the tornadoes southwest of Chicago. Now the latest watch boxes, well, we have one in effect right now. It's in effect until 9 o'clock Central Time for the areas in yellow. And of course we certainly have some strong storms right now, not quite certainly as severe as yesterday. Now the storms fired up out ahead of this system is very warm, moist, and tropical ahead of it, cooler and drier in back of it. So in that battle zone yesterday between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, severe storms right in this area, and of course deadly tornadoes. Current temperatures 75 in Boston, 74 in New York City, and good morning Detroit, 67. 75 in Houston, 77 in Miami, and a balmy start in Panama City with 84. The current surface map in the southeast is a pretty quiet one. Not much to write home about, but you know what it means when you have clear skies like this. All kinds of sunshine today and more record heat, certainly. Scorching temperatures. Strong storms today. Severe storms, well, yes, out ahead of this system right here, you are under the gun. But in Chicago, you are not going to have any more severe weather like yesterday. Right now in Chicago, 67, 62 in Rapid City, and 75 in St. Louis. Currently in Salt Lake City, it is 60 and 80 in Vegas, 87 in Phoenix, and 64 in Portland. Again, the rain being spiraled around an upper level low right here that's being kicked on shore, and it will continue to bring some light rain off and on throughout the day in the Pacific Northwest. Switching gears a bit, we'll show you the satellite picture out of Saudi Arabia. All kinds of clear skies here and brilliant sunshine, unfortunately. All kinds of very warm weather. Medina 104, Abu Dhabi 100. These temperatures are as of noon in Mideast time. Coming up next, a look at the forecast for today with Mark.
Accurate, dependable. Your local forecast from the weather.
Good morning, I'm Mark Mancuso alongside Marnie Stanier. Strong storms in the Midwest for our friends in Montgomery, Ohio. We have some heavy thunderstorms, and if you're traveling down to Cincinnati, there could be trouble at the airport.
That's right. We do have reports of delays there this morning. They have some thunderstorms. We'll show you on radar. It's time for Waking Up Weather, sponsored by Mountain Grown Folgers Coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up. Well, we have delays at Chicago's O'Hare Airport and also in Cincinnati, as mentioned. Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver, LA, no problem. Smooth sailing. Satellite into motion, we show you a couple of areas of storms. Now, last night and yesterday, the storms were firing up in western New York and also Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, it doesn't go back as far as what we had yesterday in the afternoon hours around Chicago, but this does show you the active weather in parts of Indiana and Ohio and also, well, in western New York yesterday and last night. Now, of course, the latest band of thunderstorms right here. It develops and moves southeast. We've had some storms moving southeast at 50 miles per hour. We've had reports of hail and high winds, so certainly a rough and tumble start to the weather day here. A look to Texas, not a bad start, all kinds of sunshine, and it's going to be another hot one. An onshore flow in the northwest with some light rain showers. We'll show you how the rain shows up on the latest national radar scan, and we do have very light rain here. Disregard what you see across the Sunshine State. For the most part, it is ground clutter. We have had some thunder showers around the Keys, but that is about it. We'll zoom in here now and take a closer look at what we have this morning, and you see the storms firing up right here in a line, moving southeast very rapidly. They move through Louisville with very high winds and heavy downpours. They're still reporting thunderstorms here. The same story in Covington. They're back to lighter rain showers in Indianapolis. They were under a warning earlier for thunderstorms. We still have some warnings west of Springfield around McDonald, Fulton, and also Mason counties for strong and severe storms. An area of moderate rain right here where you see dark green. Lighter rain showers moving north across parts of Washington and Oregon. A look now to the current map, and we'll take a look back to yesterday, and we show you the reports of severe weather. A report of a tornado in western New York around Jamestown, and also, of course, numerous tornadoes, at least 3, it looks like, southwest of Chicago. The death toll now up to 26, with those tornadoes that cut a path of about 7 miles long, and it caused a lot of destruction there. This will probably go down in history as one of the worst tornado outbreaks ever in this state. We have the latest watch box for you. It's in effect until 9 o'clock Central Time for the areas in yellow. This simply means that conditions are favorable for strong or severe storms, so we don't want you to rule it out. We want you to know about it, because especially after what happened in southwest of Chicago yesterday. Now, we have another warning for you. This was just issued. It's issued just to the east of Springfield, Illinois, and that county, well, they're reporting some hail just to the east of Springfield. So a warning right about here where I'm pointing with some reports of some hail. A look to the current satellite picture. Very strong storms firing up here. South of the region, though, much better. Good, nice start in Georgia. You have the rain showers and thunder showers firing up out ahead of this boundary. And this is exactly what happened yesterday. The setup was perfect, unfortunately, for severe storms in Chicago. You have the warm, moist air to the south, the cooler, drier air to the north, and this is the clash, the battle zone right here. And when it was up over Chicago yesterday, that is exactly what happened. Right now it's 71 around Albany Way, 75 in Boston, and 76 in D.C. Waking up to 78 right now in Tampa, 84 balmy degrees in Panama City, and Birmingham, 78, 75 Atlanta, Georgia. Not an awful lot to talk about here right now, but of course you know with clear skies later, all kinds of sun out there. Record highs certainly possible. Current satellite picture here, well, not a lot to talk about, just rain showers back here. Of course, thunderstorms out ahead of the boundary. You see the warm, moist air right here, 75 in St. Louis, but cooler and drier, 45 in International Falls. 68 in Boise, it is 80 in Vegas, and 87 in Phoenix. Again, the upper level low being kicked on shore, and you have a good chance for rain here today because of that. Latest national satellite picture. We'll switch gears and show you the satellite picture in Saudi Arabia. Clear skies and temperatures up over the century mark as of noon. Temperature in Abu Dhabi 100, Medina 104. More on the forecast coming up next with Mark.